Multicultural education professional learning. This presentation will include an introduction, your perspective, terms, multicultural education, cultural responsiveness, and a closing reflection. Introduction. Purpose: increase awareness and respect for all differences, through multicultural education. These codes and policies act as a guidance to employees, assuring the quality of education and relations with students and fellow staff of Mercer County Schools. Global Citizenship. DSSK 2.14 and 15. Understand and describe the interactive roles and relationships among family members and classroom community. Identify self as a member of groups within a community. Understand similarities and respect differences among people, such as gender, race, disability, culture, language, and family structure. DSS 3-5.14 and 15. Investigate and respect aspects of various communities and discuss how these contribute to each individual's perspective of local, state, and world events. Identify themselves as members of varied groups within the local, state, national, and international community. Interact respectfully with all individuals regardless of gender, race, disability, culture, language, and family structure. Global Citizenship. DSS 6-8.14 and 15. Compare and contrast aspects of various communities and describe how these contribute to each individual's perspective and worldview. Analyze factors that contribute to different social and worldviews, e.g., ethnicity, race, culture, gender, sexual orientation, family composition, lifestyle, religion, economic status and nationality. Apply an interculturally sensitive perspective to social interactions. Describe global issues and events from perspectives of various individuals and groups to understand viewpoints other than one's own. Investigate methods for enhancing language proficiency and the ability to communicate effectively across cultural and linguistic boundaries. Describe how stereotyping and prejudices impact interpersonal relationships. Global Citizenship. DSS 9-12.14 and 15. Describe how the characteristics of diverse world regions and individual communities contribute to varying worldviews. Investigate and explain how factors such as ethnicity, gender, religion, sexuality, and economic conditions contribute to different social and world views. Analyze global issues and events to gain an understanding of others' viewpoints. Analyze language, behavior, and nonverbal communication cues to interact respectfully with diverse cultures. Examine the influence of stereotyping and prejudice and how they impact relationships. Cultural groups are often broken down to 16 diverse segments as shown here. Diversity makes us different. The primary dimensions of diversity include age, race, ethnicity, heritage, gender, physical abilities and qualities, sexual or affection orientation, mental abilities and characteristics. Secondary dimensions of diversity: education, communication style, work background, work style, income, wealth or poverty, marital status, military experience, religious beliefs, geographic location, parental status. As an interesting activity, list 5 things about you, that if taken from you, you would not be the same person you are today. When we ask students to remove aspects of themselves to accommodate our teaching, or schools, we are disabling their ability to learn and achieve at full capacity. Terms. Defining terms used in multicultural education. Culture, diversity, ethnicity, race, multicultural education, cultural responsiveness, cultural proficiency, global competence, tolerance, bias, stereotype, equity, equality. Equality versus equity. Equality means giving each student the same resource. Educational equity means that every student has access to the resources and educational rigor they need at the right moment in their education, despite race, gender, ethnicity, language, family income, family background, or disability. Perspective. The culture of schooling. In the 20th century. Tolerance. Factory model. Top-down. Silos. Gatekeepers. Intervention programs. Deficits. Old school. Diversity training. For the 21st century. Transformation. Inclusive systems. Collaborative and co-creative. Leadership teams. Agents of change. School-wide support and prevention. Assets. Multiple perspectives. Cultural proficiency practices. Take the time to think about your current culture of schooling. Compare and contrast one of the following 20th and 21st century culture of schooling aspects. Factory model versus inclusive system. Top-down versus collaborative and co-creative. Gatekeepers versus agents of change. Intervention programs versus school-wide support and prevention. Deficits versus assets. Old school versus multiple perspectives. Identify the pros and cons of the 20th and 21st century culture of schooling aspects they have chosen. Determine if your administrators, teachers, aides or counselors, nurses, and others represents 20th or 21st century culture of schooling. Multicultural perspectives. First impressions. Who are they? Write down your thoughts and impressions, regarding the individual, or groups of individuals, on the next 8 slides. These young men are National Merit Scholar winners in 2011. National Merit finalists from Pattonville High School are, from left, Erica Ream, Jordi Mendard and Khalil Griffin. This is Anders Behring Breivik, a Norwegian Christian extremist who was behind the Oslo shootings and bombing in Norway, killing up to 98 on July 23, 2011. Sean Samek, 11, helped a fellow student, 11-year-old Asha Muhammad, when she was accidentally run over by her mother after school on a Monday. Samek ran home to get a car jack, which was used to help free the girl, who was pinned under the car. Bill Gates and the startup crew from Microsoft. Tevin Hood is a walk-on freshman defensive lineman for Duke University. He is a National Merit Scholar. Former Pope Benedict XVI. And now, Colton Harris Moore, born March 22, 1991, is an American criminal and former fugitive from Camano Island, Washington. He was charged with the thefts of small aircraft, a boat, and 2 cars and in the burglaries of at least 100 private residences in various locations around the Pacific Northwest of the United States and Canada. He fled to the Bahamas on July 4, 2010, allegedly in a plane stolen from Bloomington, Indiana. Harris Moore was arrested in Harbor Island, Bahamas, on July 11, 2010, after police shot out the engine of the boat in which he was attempting to flee. On January 27, 2012, he was sentenced to 6.5 years for related federal crimes. He became known as the Barefoot Bandit, by reportedly committing some of his crimes barefoot, once leaving behind 39 chalk footprints, and the word "See ya." Looking inward. As highlighted in the overview session, each individual sees the world through his or her cultural lens and experiences. Each individual's experiences impact the way he or she interacts with others, including students, parents, guardians, and colleagues. An individual's experiences may create biases, whether consciously or unconsciously, that impact how he or she may function in their role within the school system. Gaps in academics, access, opportunities, and services may exist within a school or school system based upon others' first impressions of them. Multicultural education. Teachers can help to overcome superficial differences to create a multicultural, democratic society. Allow the curriculum to consist of a wide variety of teaching strategies that embrace the diverse cultures in the classroom. Teachers will determine bias and carefully monitor all students in the classroom to assure that diversity is valued. Multicultural education also aims to ensure equitable individual participation in all aspects of society and to enable people to maintain their own culture, while participating together to live in a common society. Schools have a responsibility to teach students respect for self and others, how to create relationships with a wide range of people, how to work toward eliminating prejudice and discrimination. The Every Child statement. We emphasize that every child includes learners of English as a second language and speakers of English as a first language, members of underrepresented ethnic groups and members of well-represented groups, students who are physically challenged and those who are not, males and females, students who live in poverty and those who do not, students who have or have not been successful in school. Stages of multicultural curriculum transformation. Curriculum of the mainstream. Heroes and holidays. Integration. Structural reform. Multicultural, social action, and awareness. Cultural responsiveness. Educator may use superior teaching strategies. The strategies are, however, only as effective as the educator's ability to engage and relate to students. 6 types of teachers. 1. Repeat offenders. Use the same lessons year after year, rather than updating lessons to meet students' changing needs. Make derogatory comments, to, or about, students. 2. Referral agents. 20% of teachers, make 80% of referrals. 3. Instructors. Teach subjects not students. 4. Missionaries. Going to save everyone. These teachers usually don't last long. 5. Teachers. Understand their subject content. Realize all students are able to learn. Teach students rather than just teaching subject. Use differentiated instruction and strategies which reach all students. 6. Coaches. Same as teachers, but creates bonds with all students. Academic standards plus relevance to students' lives equals culturally responsive teaching. Teachers who consistently get results with all groups of students. Have strong content knowledge. Have an array of effective strategies. Draw on prior knowledge of their students. See the range of student abilities and differentiate instruction, and constantly examine their own attitudes about race, class, and culture. Next steps. Reflect on how you have made all students welcome in your classroom, on the bus, in the cafeteria, or in the hallways. Complete the self-assessment on classroom environment. Implement one new strategy regarding multicultural education during the new school year. For more information, contact one of our state coordinators.